Hello guys and welcome back. In today's video we're going to be doing another historical game spotlight on a game called Blackwake. Now this was really popular about 8 months ago when the alpha first came out and a bunch of really popular YouTubers actually played it. I think Soviet Womble and I think Frankie on PC also played it for a little bit. However, since then I've barely heard anything on it. There's been a bunch of really small YouTubers making videos, but apart from that it's been fairly quiet. This game is set to be released in early access on the 24th of February, which is very soon, and I thought why not show you guys the game just in case, by chance, you might actually like the look of it. As always, I'm going to begin with a short description of the game. It reads, Blackwake is a multiplayer FPS focused on teamwork and cooperation. Fire the cannons, sink the enemy ships, or board them with firearms and steel. One thing I have noticed about this game is that there's a lot of jumping between ships, going all the way up into the crow's nest, for example, jumping between riggings, and I think it adds a really nice element to the game, using stealth and sneaking around ships to kill people, rather than just boarding them and getting into hack and slash and maybe you die, maybe they die. It's kind of over in seconds, whereas with that you can, sneak around for a few minutes and then pounce when, for example, your ship's pulled away or even when your ship's sunk. Moving on, I want to talk about what the developers themselves think about the game and what the perks are. So it says become a captain, crew the cannons or repair the ship. That's kind of the base thing, that's what you'd expect. There is a shipboarding, melee and first-person shooter combat. There's team cooperation and focus aid victory. There's a game mode variety with multiple ship sizes. That'd be cool to have like a little ship that can sneak up on the larger ships and maybe, climb up the side and start attacking them that way, maybe without them even noticing. It adds a bit more diversity to the gameplay yet again. There are no forced classes for any crew member, so this basically means any person on the ship can be efficient. You're not set to do one thing. For example, in games such as Guns of Icarus, you have an engineer that kind of goes around and repairs the ship, and then you have gunners. Whereas with this, you can be repairing, you can fire the cannons, you can steer the ship, and I think that's really cool. It doesn't just set people to do one thing, and it basically makes it less boring. There's your typical character customization and ranking and unlocking of outfits, so you can have a bit of diversity between your characters. There are up to 54 players on multiple ships. I'm not really sure how many ships you can have on one map, but there's 54 players to one server, which is a very good size. It'd be nice to see that spread across maybe, I don't know, 4 ships per team, something like that. Maybe even 5. That would be so cool. You can get into some really intense ship battles. There's dedicated server hosting, there's free content updates with no paid DLC. A lot of games are going down that route these days. Things like Titanfall 2 did that, as well as For Honor. There's a 2-man dev team that communicates and work with the community, and that is probably one of the most important things on the list, because having 2 people deving a game is very small, especially one of this caliber, and so far these guys seem to have done a very good job. And the fact that they connect with their community is something very important, because what the community reports is what the game devs need to address and solve if it's a problem, or keep if it's something really good. The main thing that I found from watching quite a few of these videos is that teamwork is absolutely key. It's not like other games where you can just leave and do your own thing, because you're all hauled up onto one ship. And in order to win, you need to work together, whether that's to repair or fire, aiming, steering. They all need to work together in order for you to win. Another thing I picked up is that there is an in-game voice chat. This is very good because it does allow communication between players, even when they're not in a TeamSpeak or a Skype or something like that. And that's very good, because not everybody's going to have friends that want to play this game. And again, this does have some problems. What if you're in a team where nobody is using their mics and does not communicate? You're going to be at a huge disadvantage to anyone that is using their mics. Again, this is a very hard thing to balance, and it's almost impossible to balance. But, things like that could happen, and it could ruin gameplay experience. Maybe there's a way of mixing up people with mics and people without mics. I doubt that's going to be a thing, but it's just a thing to think about. Going along with this basis, I believe that playing this game with friends is going to be a lot better than playing it on your own with random people. Again, sometimes this can work out, but I think you're going to have the best experience if you have some friends that maybe you've persuaded to buy the game. One thing I haven't talked about is the combat system. They've gone with a very Mount & Blade style combat system, nowhere near as good or as polished as Mount & Blade, but it's the same kind of format. You can attack in certain amount of directions, I think it's 3 in Blackwake, and you can block in 3 directions. So all you do is drag your mouse the way you want to swing or the way you want to block, and yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. The firearm combat, I would say, is a lot more important than the melee combat because you're going to be able to shoot them before they even get close to you. Now, the weapon I seem to see a lot is the 3-barreled pistol. It allows you to fire 3 shots and then you can reload all 3. That seems to be the most effective because you get the most shots away without having to reload. I also see the grenade launcher being used quite a lot because it can do a lot of damage to ships as well as small groups of people, and I think it's fairly quick at reloading. I can't remember where exactly I saw this, but I remember seeing in one of the alpha dev blogs an actual mortar was used. So there's going to be land-based weapons from the looks of things. I'm not going to confirm that because I'm not 100% sure if they've kept it, but I remember seeing a mortar being used to absolutely devastating effect in one of their dev blogs. You can also expect weapons like muskets and all that kind of thing. I think there's going to be a wide range of weapons to choose from, and there's probably going to be updates that will add more as the game goes on. Anyway guys, I think that will wrap it up for today's video. I don't think I need to go into too much more detail with this game. It just looks like a lot of fun that you can do with your friends, and maybe even take it seriously. You never know, clans might form in it, and then we might have some competition based, I don't know, tournaments or something like that. That would be really, really cool. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go down in the description where you can find the links to things such as my Discord, where you can communicate with me really easily. You can ask questions about this video. A lot of people are there quite a lot, and we basically speak about a lot of random crap. Also, make sure to go down in the description and find the link to the Albo Show's channel. He makes a series called Blackwake every day, and I've been watching it quite a lot recently, and it's actually really, really good. That's where most of the footage from this video came from, and I'm very grateful that he let me use it, so make sure you go ahead and check him out. Anyway guys, I think that will do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching yet again. Make sure to click that like button as well as hitting subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.